Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Gemini energy. And since it's not a personal reading, I'm going to read it from a couple different perspectives because people harness their Gemini energy differently. And so what's going on there in their life will be different. And how they'll move forward in their life will be different because of how they harness their Gemini energy. Gemini energy is air sign energy of the mind, and it has to do with what our truth is. And our Gemini energies are dualistic nature. We have our dualistic nature, our more worldly nature, our more immature nature, lustful, greedy, prideful, lazy. And we also have our more high vibe nature of hope and faith and belief and love. But people have free will. Some people reject their intuitive, loving nature. That's not my truth. My truth is I'm more about me or the world, or my ego, or my defensive nature. And we just need to see the truth of that. And some people in Gemini energy, they have hope and faith and belief in love, hope and faith and belief in their dreams, want to be in just and fair and authentic and loving and supportive, encouraging relationships with people who act with character and integrity. And that is not the truth of some people. You know, life's about learning lessons, and not everyone has freed themselves from things that manipulate them to be a more loving, giving, emotionally mature, stable, grounded person. And we just need to see the truth of it. The truth sets us free. You know, we all harness Gemini energy, so listen to your intuition about where you're at in the story. Listen to your intuition about other people in your life, where they're at. Get out of your ego about it. We can't make people be a more just and fair, emotionally mature, hopeful, believing, loving, healed person if they haven't done that work within themselves. And learning some of those lessons can take decades. You know, wish people peace. It's like, you know, if I know you have certain traits and characteristics or ways of viewing the world that aren't aligned with my truth, then I wish you peace, and I'm moving on to go find the people who kind of are on the same page as me and have learned some of the same life lessons I have. We're also getting an energy oracle card. We have 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel. The reason it came out is because of the thinking man. So the throat chakra is Taurus energy, which has to do with our truth and our philosophy of life. Why? Because the King of Swords, represented by Libra energy, you know, what is our truth? I view the King of Swords as Libra energy, air sign energy again. What is our truth? What do we think is just and fair? What makes us feel... are we more motivated by the world? Shadowy Taurus, Libra energy. Life's more about me. Life's more about indulging in these things of the world. I'm sure they'll make me happy. I'm sure if I have enough money, status, image, or indulge myself enough, I'll be happy. I don't want to do love. Maybe I don't even believe in love. I like to live from my mind. I like to keep myself safe. I don't want to be hurt. If I do love, I get hurt. I'd just rather indulge myself in relationships and not authentically invest in them. I live more from my mind than my heart. And other people, that's not their philosophy. They harness high vibe, Taurus, Libra, Gemini. In their free will, their truth is, I do believe in a higher truth and justice to aspire to. I think there's more to life than just making my life about me or these things of the world. I think there's a higher truth and justice to aspire to, and I do believe in love. So, the overarching reason for the reading is the 4 cups, which are we willing to take that cup of higher love, or do we keep being emotionally manipulated by our more worldly nature? Have we learned to love ourselves? Have we worked through relationships of our past that didn't work out when we could have worked with people who had some lessons to learn about how to work cooperatively with people in love? Have we offered ourselves that cup of love to free ourselves from it? Or does it still manipulate us? For some people, it does still manipulate them. High vibe people are offering love to other people. If I caused you pain or heartbreak to be confused about the truth of who you are because I was immature, I had lessons to learn at one time, I want to offer you that cup of love. I don't want you being stuck and confused about me. I was immature. I was blah, 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 blah. You know? Other people go look for people who are sad to try to get in a relationship with them. I'm going to go find someone who's sad. Maybe I can manipulate and control them. Okay, let's go see. We start out with the Ace of Swords, the Six of Pentacles, and the Ace of Wands. So, the Six of Pentacles is Taurus energy. It has to do with our philosophy of life. Everybody has their view of life, what drives and motivates them, what they think is just and fair, their idea of the dream life, the dream relationship. That's their truth. And that's what they're going to go take action towards. So if you're kind of confused about maybe why some people don't want to be in a friendship or relationship with you, because your truth is different than their truth. And if you already told them your truth, they know what your truth is. You might not know their truth, but they know their truth. If you have communicated with people your truth, that you want to exchange resources with someone and have a new beginning with someone, the truth is they might like to want to exchange resources with you too. Time, energy, effort, hugs, and kisses. They might be attracted to you, but they might not they might not take action on it because you already told them how you view life. And they might be more about someone who likes to indulge in a relationship, maybe kind of an immature player, maybe likes to manipulate people, is prideful, egotistical, materialistic. Maybe you didn't know all of that, but they know it. I was like, I'm not going to go get in a relationship with someone who really walks the talk. I don't walk the talk. Anyway, people are communicating with people. Even shadowy people, though, some people can always try, right? Oh, you're a high vibe, loving person. I might not. We tend to think other people think like us. So there could be some people who think, because if you're not in a romantic relationship, they could think you're sad. They could think, oh, I can go indulge myself in a relationship with them. You might be sad that some other people didn't want to work with you, but you've taken that cup of love. You're inspired by truth and love and justice and fairness and balance. We can be sad that other people in our life don't want to work together with us that way, but we're not staying in that energy. We offer love to it to maintain balance with us, to keep truth and love to be what motivates us. Some people are going to want to try to get in a relationship with some high vibe people, thinking they can live more from their mind than their heart and tempt them in their lust, their greed, their pride, their ego, their fear, their codependency. And some of them will be surprised that, what? I can't tempt you in those things? Aren't you sad? Don't you just want to indulge in a relationship? Maybe because you're in your ego? And then we have the Five of Wands. From the 1 to the 5, it's the Four of Wands, which is kind of like a foundation that you operate from. You're not operating from the same foundation of self that you used to operate from before. We've all had lessons to learn in life. We all grow up in the world. Taurus is our sign energy of the world, our philosophy of life. We all grow up in the world. We all get caught up in these things of the world. And we are kind of initially probably really a lot aligned with our more worldly nature. And we have all these things of the world that we want to go indulge in. We're sure that'll make us happy. And we go indulge in those things and we kind of realize, oh, those things didn't turn out the way I wanted. And maybe I gave those things too much importance in my life. Because you can go indulge in things of the world to make you feel better when you're sad. You could indulge in drugs and alcohol, gambling, random sex, relationships. I just want to get in a relationship to feel better. I'm going to drink these things. I'm sure that'll make me feel better. And then, we realize those things weren't the answer. And that's kind of, the Four of Wands is Aries energy that I was referring to here about the foundation people operate from. When we're in our more worldly Aries energy, we are kind of more about ourselves. And being inspired by all these things of the world. We think those things, we look outside of ourselves for the answer. It's kind of like our more codependent energy. But people who learn lessons in life, they went and indulged in those things of the world, but they had inner conflict within themselves. So the Five of Wands can talk about this dualistic nature that we have. You know, there is a part of us that has our hopeful, believing, loving nature, but then in our worldly nature, we kind of want to indulge in those things, and we kind of battle within ourselves. And then the Seven of Swords talks about we have a dream. It's Aquarius energy. We have a dream. We want these things of the world, but we also have lessons to learn about, in the Two of Swords here, about listening to our intuition. And we got lessons to learn about that. And, you know, we go take action from the Seven of Swords to the Eight of Swords. We took action on something. We made a decision. And we went to go invest time, energy, and effort into something we wanted to go take action towards. And we could end up in a mental prison and sad, and it didn't work out the way we wanted. Well, so then, in the Nine of Swords, we can kind of be in a mental prison about it. Those things that I thought I was going to go indulge in that I thought would make me happy, you know, didn't make me happy. Whoa, whoa. Poor, poor, pitiful me. And then we have the Three of Wands, Aries energy. I had a dream. And then the Devil. And it's kind of realizing that. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles and the Devil are Capricorn energy. And it's kind of realizing, did I let my more worldly nature, because shadowy Capricorn represented by the Devil is our more worldly, immature, shadowy nature, right? Indulgent nature, more about ourselves, looking outside of ourselves, being more codependent. And I got myself in situations, maybe I could have hope and faith and belief and love, but I could have gotten in relationships with people have inner conflict about the truth that it's supposed to be about love. And then I get in a relationship with them, and because they're up in their head about love, then they get fearful and afraid and don't want to do love. And they think, no, I'm going to live more from my mind than my heart. In their self-nature, I'm going to keep living more from my mind than my heart. And there's a maximum of 10 in each suit. And this is the Nine of Swords. So it's up in your head debating like that last sword of truth that the King of Swords would hold. And some people are like, nope, I'm going to live more from my mind than my heart. Forget love. Forget that. I don't need that last sword of truth. Well, the thing is, the nines and the tens talk about a completion of a cycle. We have lessons to learn at every phase of life. And some people are mature people, grown and matured. They've learned a lot of lessons in life, but they're still not willing to do love. They could view love as the devil. Why? Because love challenges us, and that's what the devil talks about. Love challenges us to love and believe in ourselves and deal with our past pain and heartbreak to free ourselves. So I view high vibe Capricorn as that we did put in the work and effort to deal with our fears and our insecurities, our inner conflict, the battle between our worldly nature and being self-defensive, or being more about ourselves or more about the world, and our loving nature. And it requires us to look at life in Aquarius energy from a higher perspective, to put life in perspective. I'm probably going to live 80 years. There are things that I want in life. Do I need them in my life right now? You know, the thing is, nothing's free. We have to put in work and effort. If you want to have an abundant harvest, you have to plant the right seeds, and it takes work and effort and tilling the garden and things like that. But some people don't want to do that work and effort, And they might not want to do love, and they might not want to be just and fair, and they might not want to act with character and integrity. And sometimes those people kind of want to be deceptive and manipulative because they have this fear of love and being hurt, but they want to be in relationships with people who are loving and nurturing and supportive and encouraging. Ha! That's like the devil. Oh, I want heaven, but I don't want to align with heaven. I want truth and I want to be in relationships with people who are mature and have good self-discipline, and they're not trying to manipulate me or control me, and they're being truthful and honest and just and fair. I want that, but I don't want to be that. And then some of those people don't want to turn their back on seeing the truth, that they're being deceptive and manipulative, shadowy, selfish, controlling. But they want what they want, and they want it now. Don't want to put in the work and effort. Don't want to have to heal and grow and mature themselves to free themselves from what manipulates them. Don't want to work through their own fears and insecurities about love. Don't want to learn to love themselves. Don't want to put in the work and effort to free themselves from things that manipulate them. Because it does take work and effort. And for any of you who put in that work and effort, you know how much work and effort it takes to work through those issues of, why don't I love and believe in myself? Why do I belittle and berate myself? Why do I keep making the decisions I make in my life? Why do I get in certain relationships? Why am I drawn and attracted to certain people? Why don't I appreciate what I bring to the table? Why don't I get in relationships with people who treat me in a just and fair and loving way? Maybe because I haven't learned to love myself. Well, why don't I love myself? Why don't I appreciate myself? And you have to invest all this time, effort, and energy to work through all that bullshit. Some people have. The fives can talk about change. They're not the same person they were before. Being in relationships with people who had inner conflict about love was the very thing that made them do all that work within itself. That's why, kind of like if we looked at things in the world that happen in our life, we can use them all for our good benefit. If we're willing to look at life from a higher perspective and deal with the truth. We in our human nature can be like, why weren't those people nice to me? Why did those people kick me to the curb, throw me to the bus? Why were they, whatever way they were? If we look at life from a higher perspective and we see the truth that everybody's got free will, everybody has these lessons to learn, everybody has their free will choice to be whatever type of person they want. The only person we can ultimately take responsibility for is ourself. So from 1 to the 5, we had the 4 of Wands, which is Aries energy about the self. And then over here, we have what our dreams are and what we focus our time, energy, and effort into, who we exchange time, energy, and effort into. Do we let our mind and our emotions and our lust and our greed and our pain and our heartbreak and the world and all these things kind of be what drives and motivates us and manipulates us? Or do we stay focused? If you're 9 swords up in your head, what are you focused on? 1 cup of love in your heart. We can choose to be focused on truth and love. I could focus on all this other bullshit. I could focus on everybody else in the world and why they're not more nice or more kind or more just or more fair or more loving or more nurturing. All I can do is with people in the world is take responsibility for how I treat people. So, you know what? In truth and love and encouragement, I'm going to maintain balance within myself. I'm going to treat other people the way I like to be treated. I'm going to be truthful and loving and encouraging to people. But I'm going to, in the 5s, which can talk about maintaining balance. If there's a maximum of 10, I'm going to maintain balance. Maybe especially in my fiery nature. In our fiery nature, It's Aries and Leo and Sagittarius energy. I have all these things that kind of can tempt me, but I want to maintain balance so that I don't let my more worldly, like lustful, prideful, whatever nature kind of run my life. I do want these things of the world that I'm motivated and inspired by, but I also have something, a dream I am trying to bring into reality. And if I keep running off the rails and acting in an immature or petty or envious or jealous or competitive or immature way, it's going to keep me from my dream. So then we have to do this work within ourselves to maintain balance within ourselves, to keep focused on the bigger picture, keeping life in perspective. Yes, there are these things of the world I want, but I have a dream and I'm not going to go about it. I'm not willing to sacrifice my dream. And my dream is to be in a relationship where people in high vibe Taurus act with character and integrity, are truthful, honest, loving, just, fair, balanced, and look at life from a higher perspective. Because the Ace of Swords would represent all three air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. And I want to exchange resources with people who are inspired in their fire sign energy of Leo, Aries, and Sagittarius to go on an adventure, to be bold and brave and confident, to be inspired by love, to be authentically themselves. I don't want a fake, superficial, shallow life or relationship. And I don't want to be in relationships with people who have inner conflict about love, who are kind of deceptive or manipulative, live more from their mind than their heart, caught up more in these things of the world or themselves, and are in a mental prison about the truth or love. And if I know some people that are in that energy, whether those people are my own adult child, my sibling, my parents, some friends, some people I'd like to be in a relationship with, I'm going to keep offering myself love. And love is what helps heal. Do I have to date them? Do I have to marry them? Do I have to keep dating them? Keep being married to them? No. So long as they're in that energy, I maintain balance within myself. I wish them peace and love, but I'm probably going to keep my distance from them because they're still more harnessing this energy in a more shadowy way. Their truth is, I am being in shadowy Taurus, Gemini, Libra, in my air sign energies and my fire nature. I'm still motivated and inspired more by me or these things of the world. And that's what I think will make me happy. And that's what I want to indulge myself in. And that's how I want to live my life. And they probably want to hang out with people who are more on the same page as them and not hang out with people who harness that energy differently than them. Because you're just not on the same page. What drives and motivates you and your truth and what you think is just and fair and all that is different. So people can be sad. They'd like some of those people maybe to be more involved in their life, but really you're not on the same page. So you keep, in high vibe, the 7, you keep maintaining balance within yourself because you don't want to indulge people in poor behavior. And though you have this dream, your intuition is like stopping you from indulging those people more in your life because you're not on the same page. Life is about seeing the truth and learning these lessons and freeing yourself from your more immature worldly ways of being or whatever. And until their philosophy of life changes and they're inspired to look at life from a higher perspective and heal from some of these things that manipulate them, you're not on the same page. So, from the 7 to the 8 of Swords, it's like seeing the truth that they are where they're at in their life and how they view life. It's just like when we were 15, 18, 21, 25, we viewed life differently. We liked to live our life differently. How we viewed relationships was different. what we were motivated and inspired by was different. And it's kind of the same thing, even though you could be the same age as people. It's like as if some people are living more like an 18-year-old versus a 21-year-old, or a 25-year-old versus a 21-year-old. We can all be the same age, but we can all emotionally view life differently and think different things are just and fair and be driven and motivated by different things. So it's like we're different ages emotionally and in how we think and logic and reason and what drives and motivates us. And based on what our idea of the dream life is, the Five of Wands is Leo energy. Some people it can talk about, they're very competitive in the world. More worldly Libra Taurus energy would be, I want these things of the world. I want to have maybe, I think it's just and fair if my idea of living the dream is for me to go indulge in whatever it is I go indulge in, then look at me, I'm living the dream. Other people could think they're a complete idiot, but if they think that's living the dream, they go live their life like that. Other people, it's more about like power or status or money or materialism. Sure, if they have those things, and that could be the most important thing to them. It could be how they define their worth and value. Shadowy Capricorn energy in general can be just what do we view as like a legacy in life? Is it about high vibe Aries is about, and high vibe Libra and high vibe Taurus and high vibe Gemini is about, I act with character and integrity, in truth and love. I might not have all the power, status, and image or whatever that other people have, but I am conducting myself in truth and love with people I'm in relationships with. I am not trying to manipulate and control people. I am not being selfish and greedy and out for my own best interests and don't really care how the other people feel. It's all about me. I'm working together because of a higher truth and justice and love. And I'm not going to make my life just more about me or more about those things of the world. I have these people in my life who are authentic and warm and loving, and they work together with me cooperatively, and they are just and fair and truthful and honest and loving, and in turn I am that way with them. And none of us are letting ourselves indulge in making our life just more about ourselves or these things of the world. Might we have those things of the world? Yeah, because everybody can put in work and effort to have stability and security in their life. But it isn't at the expense of love. But for other people, love is something they are willing to sacrifice for those things of the world. Some of those people are very competitive in the world. They want to look like a shining star. They could be a little bit in a mental prison because some of them might be in relationships with people or in career fields they don't love. But they were willing to pursue something to have the status or the image or the money. How many people maybe didn't go to college for the career field they'd really like to be in because, well, I might love painting. I might like the creative arts, which is like high vibe fire sign energy. I'm going to listen to my truth and my passion. I'd rather enjoy my life every day and my job every day and make less money than to go to college for a career field that really, God, I hate this job. It's like living in hell every day because it's not aligned with your truth. But some people do that in relationships. The most important thing is to get in a relationship with someone where I will have this certain status or image, or that I be indulged in that relationship. I have to be deferred to. The scales have to be tipped more in my favor because that's how I view life, and they could think that's just and fair, and that's how they think relationships should be. Because they have inner conflict about looking at life any differently. And they could have the fear of love. So if I don't want to do love, I should be deferred to where I get to be defensive and operate from my more egoic nature. But I might want to try to deceive some loving people to get in a relationship with me. That would be great. How about you stay really focused on love and putting in this work and effort to make this dream come into reality in a loving, hopeful, believing way. Maybe I'll put more work and effort into having the stability or the security, or vice versa. You do the stability and security, and I'll do the love. When people are in a more shadowy, worldly view of life, it can be in shadowy Taurus a more transactional relationship where one person has to indulge the other person. And some people, that's how they view relationships. And for some, that's why they kind of don't want to do love. They could be afraid that that gives you too much power and control over them, and they're afraid you'll abuse it. And people definitely can. And some of you have been in relationships with people who use the love that you had to try to manipulate you and control you. And all of that caused you a lot of stress and anxiety about why they would do that, because that's not the type of person you thought they were. And you thought they'd work with you cooperatively in truth and love. But the whole thing is, some people, if they were kind of hiding that they haven't learned to love themselves, or they have fear of being hurt, you can get in a relationship with them and stay in a relationship with them for a long time, trying to bring this dream into reality. But eventually you've kind of, between the 7 and the 8, you've negotiated all these different things in a relationship, that you can come to agreement with and kind of compromise on. But then it kind of gets down. If you're 8 swords up in your head, you're thinking about 2 cups of love. And the 2 cups of love can be kind of like, what do I align with in my Gemini energy within myself? My fear of love, or more about me, or more about the world, or love and hope and faith? And have I learned to love myself? And that's when a relationship can kind of fall apart, because people really have a fear of love, because I can view the King of Swords as a person's self-protective nature. I am unwilling to authentically, emotionally invest myself in this relationship because I have so much fear of maybe if it weren't to work out, I wouldn't feel I could pick myself up again. And for those of you who have gone through heartbreak, you know that feeling when you wake up in the morning and it's like, at first you can wake up and you feel good. You had a good night's sleep. And then it's like, wait a minute. And it's like, oh yeah. And it's like a big circle of your stomach is gone. Like people could just put their hand through it. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. you know, me and someone aren't in a relationship anymore, and it is hard, but it is like working out and muscle memory. You kind of get better at picking yourself up as time goes by. Some people, though, they haven't let their more authentic, hopeful, believing, loving nature out to play in the world, and they don't have much experience with it. And so then it can make them even more and more afraid. I mean, isn't it crazy? I do think there's people who do this. Our mind is such a powerful thing, of why we view the world we do, the way we do, why we think the way we think, again, like twin studies, or just even you and friends and how you view life. Why do some people like have that more hopeful, believing, optimistic view, and for other people, like everything is something to bitch about or complain about? It's just like, wow. But it's so much based on our philosophy of life and how we think about life, and what we think is the truth. And then the fact is, some of the people that we got in relationships were being deceptive and manipulative, and that's the kind of people they are. And we also needed to be illuminated to the truth that there's people like that in the world. There are people who are more about themselves, who live more from their mind than their heart, who think, I don't really have to do love, and I might not even believe in love. I think it's all about people trying to create an illusion in the world and manipulate people. And it's this game of, in the world, people trying to get in relationships with people to have a certain status and image, or stability and security, or, to make people envious of them or look like they got more than them. And For some people, that could be their truth. And they think life is all about trying to look like a shining star. That's how you play this game. That's what they think. And, there might have been people I met along the way that I did really care for, but the most important thing is that I look like a shining star. So instead of seeing the truth about people I really care for or getting in the career field I really love, nope, I'm going to keep staying in denial of the truth. And it's going to be more about me and getting these things to come into reality, because that's the most important thing. And some of those people don't realize with the devil here that they're going to learn some really hard lessons, because I think with us coming to Earth, with in a world of duality where we can make this choice or that choice, we do have our more worldly, immature, atrocious human nature. We read in the paper of people that act like animals and treat other people like animals. And then we have the potential in our free will to grow and mature and heal ourselves and be like a loving, compassionate person who helps other people in the world love and believe in themselves and heal. But shadowy energy can be very competitive, and why would I want that person to do better than me? This is all about looking better than other people, and it's just how they view life. And some people are very deceptive and manipulative. It is all to create an illusion in the world. And if people in their life want to move forward in a more just, fair, authentic, loving relationship, they need to get out of there before those people see the truth of who they are. Even though they could like to want to stay in the relationship, you're not, if you were in more worldly energy before, you seem to have changed, and you seem to have looked at life from a different perspective, and you seem to have worked through some of the things that used to manipulate you before, and now you seem to be focused more on truth and love, and that's what you want me to do. And no, I think I'm going to keep my eye out for someone else I can go get in a relationship with. So loving people offer people that they're in relationships love and encouragement to work through these issues to free themselves from it. The other people could be like, some people in our life aren't like deceptive and manipulative people. They just got their own inner conflict. They kind of want to go maybe be a little more about themselves in the relationship, a little more self-centered, or we can always have people who leave our life. They don't wish us ill will, but just what they want to go indulge in and live their life, and things might be different than what we want to, and we've kind of parted ways, but hey, wish you peace, send you a Christmas letter, but we're just on different pages. Then we can have people in our life who it's kind of like, I am kind of used to being a little bit more about myself and trying to manipulate people to get my way, but you seem to have changed, and you seem like you're not going to put up with that kind of shit anymore. It's like, no, I'm not. And it's like, oh, okay. Well, some of them, it might not be really how they want to live their life if it's just a friend or family member, but I want to be in relationships with these people, and I know if I act that way, they're going to go focus their attention and time on other people, and, they won't keep investing in me the way that they've been investing in me, because we're not on the same page. So there could be people right now in a relationship. Some high vibe people are moving forward with other people in their life who are willing to work together with them in this way. They could have communicated with some other people that this is how I'm moving forward. Do you want to come with? Some of those people could have been in their own, living their life the way they live it, or in relationships that they were moving forward with. And it could cause those people some inner conflict and kind of get them up in their head to kind of reevaluate their life. How am I moving forward in life? Why am I moving forward the way I'm moving forward? What about the people in my life? Am I kind of moving forward? Or some of the people in my life moving forward with me? Is it more because we have inner conflict, we have mental conflict, we have fears and insecurities, we're codependent? Is someone indulging me? Am I indulging someone? Am I in a relationship based on love? Or is it more out of fear and insecurity or ego or image and money? We can all move forward, and life is about, taking these pauses periodically to reevaluate our life. Do I want to keep moving forward the way I'm moving forward? Is that my truth? Some people that you might communicate with, some of those people could be tempted, could get them up in their head. But if they're in high vibrational, loving relationships, they're not going to be tempted by their ego. And you don't want them to, because you don't want them and their shadow nature coming towards you. It's like, no thanks, you stay over there. Because you can meet people, know people, you don't know they're in a relationship. You could reach out to someone and you find out they are in a relationship. Like, yep, I spoke my truth in love, and then I let it go. They've got to decide for themselves. But sometimes when some people that we could communicate with aren't working together with us, for one, it could just be because they got to do this work within themselves to figure out, well, shit, that person kind of put a proposal out there. Wow, what is my truth? And I think high vibe people would speak their truth in love of, this is, the lessons I've learned how to love myself. I want to be in a just and fair and balanced and authentic and loving relationship. Is that the page that you're on? And some people are like, and they could struggle because do they have hope and faith and belief in love? What about how they are living their life? What about the people they are in relationship with? And for some of those people, it could really be causing them a lot of stress, or that could be causing you a lot of stress if this happened in the reverse. Someone could communicate with you, and it could cause you inner conflict. But I think high vibe people maintain their balance. They listen to their intuition. They don't get tipped out of balance into their more worldly, lustful, greedy nature. And they stay focused on the truth and love. And they give it a lot of thought and consideration. And the wands and the swords can mean about communication with each other, to get to the truth of, are we on the same page or are we not? And if we are on the same page, then, in our worldly nature, we have choice. Some people see the truth that this is what is aligned with my truth and how I have been living my life, or who I've been living my life with or aligning with, is not my truth. And I am willing to speak my truth that I'm changing jobs, friendships, or relationships because I have been inspired to change and look at life from a higher perspective and believe in my dreams. And even though I could love some people in my life, if they're not someone I can have that type of romantic relationship with because they're like my friend or my family member, I have a dream. And high vibe energy is about being more independent, that I can love people in my life. And yes, I have love for you. But if I'm going to get in a relationship or a marriage with someone, those people take priority in my life. These are the people I'm trying to bring a dream into reality. And again, just like we had our friend group, we had our original family group, all of those were like stages of life. They don't lose importance in our life. But if we're trying to bring a dream into reality with someone, those people are the primary people in our life. And that also could be a problem that some people have had in relationships, because they do have kind of divided loyalty. Loyalty is what the Six of Pentacles can talk about. Well, I am loyal to these people, and I look to these people, kind of codependent energy, as my core foundation or my sense of stability and security. But I want to be in a relationship with you, but there's always maybe going to be tension because basically, if those people can get me up in my head and manipulate me because I let them have that much power and control in my life, I'm always going to be struggling between you and them. And if I am in more codependent energy and I am not more independent in the world, then if those people tell me that they don't want me to move forward with you, then I'll probably align with those people and I'll let you go. Regardless of if you're I think high vibe people communicate with people the truth, and from there they keep moving forward in life. Other people have to make their decisions. I'm not going to chase after them. Sometimes when some people aren't moving forward with us and communicating back with us to work together on that dream, some of them are being deceptive and manipulative, only wanting to be in a relationship with you if you're kind of more in shadowy codependent energy. So I'm not, even though I might want to, I'm not going to respond back again or take action towards you because I'm kind of operating from my ego. I think you will get up in your head and all your fears and insecurities because you want to be in a relationship with me, or because I already know you love me if it's someone you already know. And I think you'll come do the relationship my way, and it will be this equally out of balance relationship where you kind of indulge me. And some people are like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to keep moving forward, giving myself the things I wish other people would have given me. If you're not on the same page as me, you're not on the same page as me. And I'm going to keep focused on truth and love. And I don't know if you're in shadowy energy or not, but apparently you're not on the same page as me. So I keep focused on not letting it keep me stuck and up in my head about it. And I complete the cycle so I start fresh again. You know, with everybody I can meet in my life, I offer people peace and love and treat them the way I like to be treated. If some of those people have a problem with it, you know, initially it could be kind of confusing. I thought we liked each other. I thought we got along, you know, and then I just work through it and offer love to the situation to close out, to let it be what it is. I speak my truth in justice and fairness and love. If they don't want to keep working together with me in that way, I accept that we're not on the same page. And I'm not going to get in an imbalanced relationship where I'm like chasing after them. I wish you peace and love, and I'm going to work through the mental confusion of it and free myself and keep moving forward to find the other people in the world who do want to be friends in a relationship. And for some of those people that have been trying to manipulate you, they could be really stressed because they were trying to manipulate you. And they really maybe did want to be in a relationship with you. But instead of being truthful and honest, some of them, they didn't. And now they could kind of feel like they trapped themselves because instead of speaking their truth and aligning with you in some way, they kept moving forward with people in their life that they were working with or had an opportunity to get in a relationship with instead of you. And now they could be stuck. If it's high vibe, it's high vibe. But if it's not high vibe, they could not be seeing the truth. You know, they could be in more shadowy, codependent type energy where they haven't learned to love themselves. And they're off learning a hard lesson with someone who is happy they don't love themselves. And they're off learning that lesson right now. Don't realize they're in a relationship with someone who probably is never going to... They could be in a relationship too with someone, oh no, I'm sure one day this person will change. I'm sure one day they'll change. And the devil's like, yeah, this is great. You keep hoping one day I'll change. And while they're learning that lesson, because you've already learned that lesson about people like that, you're moving on. So what's coming up for the people who harness some high vibe Gemini energy? Looking at life from a higher perspective, staying focused on truth and love, exchanging resources with the loving people that are in your life. Two cards not showing themselves because of the Two of Pentacles. You keep maintaining balance within yourself. And there might be someone people in the world who are looking at you, staying focused on truth and love and maintaining your balance. And definitely some of them could want to be in a relationship with you. But they're not going to take action towards you so long as you stay balanced within yourself. If I ever see them run their life off into the ditch, if I ever see them out acting kind of in pride and ego or lust or greed, oh yeah, I'm jumping in. But as long as you keep maintaining balance within yourself, it kind of can keep more shadowy people away, because partly their intuition is telling them they can't manipulate you or tempt you the way they like to tempt people in a relationship or manipulate people in a relationship. And it's like, damn, like how long are they going to keep loving themselves? You know, I may be living my life the way I'm living it, or in relationships with people I'm in a relationship with, but I really rather be in a relationship with them. But damn, I can't be in a relationship with them if they keep maintaining their balance. And some of those people don't understand how you're doing it, because they always kind of get caught up in their head and their fear and their lust and their greed and their pride and their ego, and they get themselves in relationships that cause them a lot of inner conflict and mental conflict, because they get in it more out of to feel more balanced within themselves, to feel validated, to have sex, to have if they think it says something about their status or image or for stability or security, and they don't understand, why aren't you acting like that? And maybe in your past you did act like that. We've all had lessons learned in your life. What they don't know about you is you previously maybe used to harness these energies in a more worldly, shadowy way. But what they don't know about you is you did change. And that's what some people don't understand. There's people right now that you could have had in your life that are manipulative, deceptive people doing all this shit in it, maybe how they live their life, to get you mad, make you feel hurt, get you in your ego nature, your competitive nature, trying to cause all this chaos in your life. And they're busy doing that, like, ooh, 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 are they all up in their head? Oh, are they all, I'm so powerful, oh my God. And one day these people will realize that the only person they were deceiving was themselves. While they were doing all this shit, trying to cause you all this upset in your life, you're maintaining balance and truth and love. You've looked at life from a higher perspective. You're giving yourself the things you wish they would have given you. And you're not even focused on their sorry ass. But that's how they operate in the world, so they think that's how you operate in the world, and that you're just putting on a better show than they are. But what they don't get is you don't harness these energies in a more worldly, shadowy way anymore. And you've probably cut some people out of your life because they did. When you harness them in a more shadowy way, you were hanging out with people who harness them in a more shadowy way. To some degree, you were on the same page of a view of life, if nothing else, or things you like to indulge in. But now you harness these energies in a high vibe way, and they don't understand it because they don't. The King of Swords and the Six of Pentacles, Taurus energy and the King of Swords. That's so funny. You could have been someone who, you wanted these things of the world that you thought were just and fair. You could have made decisions more from your mind and your heart that seem logical and practical. You could have been a little defensive to loving yourself or believing in yourself and believing in your dreams, but you're not the same person anymore. You've changed. You did look at life from a higher perspective. You did learn to love yourself. And now you're focused on believing in yourself and believing in your dreams, and you're harnessing your Libra, Taurus, and Capricorn energy differently, not operating from a more worldly foundation. You're operating from a more balanced foundation. Yes, I want these things of the world, but I want truthful, honest, just, fair, balanced relationships. And I'm going to maintain balance and speak my truth, maintain balance within myself. The Six of Pentacles and the King of Swords both can be about maintaining balance. I am balanced between my worldly nature and my more hopeful, believing, truth and love nature. And those are the people I want to be in a relationship with now. Not the people that I could have been in a relationship with before that were kind of maybe juggling, even can be the Two of Pentacles. Maybe, we all have to get to see the truth that eventually we need to pick a path. Because we're either doing truth and love, or we're more from the world, or we're still juggling back and forth and haven't made a decision. But I think the high vibe people have made a decision. My loving nature is in the driver's seat of my life. My more immature worldly nature sits in the back seat. Where before, it could have been the opposite way around. So, and as you do that, there's going to be other people kind of motivated in their Gemini Aries energy of being inspired by truth and love and believing in their dreams that are also going to want to balance things out with you, because that's where they're at, and they're no longer living more from their mind than their heart. Okay, and what's coming up for the people who might harness a more worldly or shadowy Gemini energy that they might not see coming up? The Page of Cups, because of the Queen of Wands and the Strength card. Well, for one, when people do kind of live more from their mind than their heart in a relationship, it causes the people they're in relationship with some inner conflict, because they had a dream from love that they wanted to have come into reality. And they keep trying to love and encourage those people, love and encourage people. Two cards of Leo energy to get out of their more worldly, shadowy Leo energy and to temper their fears and their insecurities and bossy or controlling or immature or egotistical, self-centered ways of being. And eventually people see the truth. I've been offering you love and encouragement, but you don't ever learn to love yourself so that we can have this dream come into reality. You keep having inner conflict about not making your life more about you or these things of the world. And eventually people wish them peace. I kind of used to be in my ego about it, and I used to be all about trying to get you to change. And I've been illuminated to the truth. If you had wanted to be that type of person from the beginning, you would have been that type of person. And if you wanted to be that type of person now, or were that type of person, you would be. And I just see the truth, and I got out of my ego about it. I wish you peace. You go live your life the way you want to live it, but that's not my truth. I wish you peace. I've tempered my own ego. I am going to distance myself from this relationship, go maintain balance within myself. This is not my truth anymore. And I'm going to go communicate with the people in the world who I do think are on the same page as me. And together we're going to work through these issues to see if we're kind of on the same page and if everybody's learned to love and believe in themselves. And if they are, those are the people that are aligned with my truth. And I'm aligned with theirs. And I'm not going to be in a relationship with people who are more about themselves or these things of the world. And the shadowy people did not see that coming. I thought for sure I had manipulated this person, or I knew this person loved me and I thought I could keep manipulating them. And what they don't see coming is they're probably going to end up having to be in a relationship with someone who's like themselves. Someone who's either codependent on them, who is willing to defer to these people, or someone else who's kind of views life the way we do, which we would kind of view as a more emotionally immature way of life, who also is in their ego about tempering their ego, and they don't want to do it either. So I will be in a relationship with you for the reasons we are in it. because I'm in my ego about tempering my worldly nature. So let's both indulge in these things or make our life about these things. Let's live more from our mind than our heart. Let's make it more about looking like a shining star in the world, because that is our truth. And we both could like to control and manipulate people. And we just kind of have to be willing to kind of compromise to maybe take turns. Who gets to be bossy and manipulative for X period of time, then who gets to be bossy and manipulative or immature and indulgent, because neither one of us really want to leave the relationship, because we know other people want us to grow up and mature ourselves, and we don't want to do that. And these things, it's hard to find someone on the same page as you when you do love, much less to find someone to be in a relationship with you when you could be people who are kind of more about yourself and like to manipulate and control people. You know, you have to kind of find someone, either one person has to defer to the other people, or, you know, you struggle and fight about it over who's more the boss than the other person. High vibe energy is about being just and fair and treating each other with respect and compromise. So there you go, Gemini energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.